Hello and welcome to Twin Flame Reality, the podcast for Twin Flames. I am your host, TF Reality, and today's topic is manifestation, and I am going to be channeling or receiving messages from the Ascended Master Merlin. And yeah, Merlin is the same one that you remember from the movies, and he's one and the same, though some of the stuff that you see in movies and books is fictional. You can Google Ascended Master to learn Ascended Master Merlin to learn more about him. Doreen Virtue's book, Ascended Masters and Archangels, or Archangels and Ascended Masters, I may have said it backwards, is good. And interestingly enough, I actually started channeling Merlin just about 3 years ago, right before I met my twin flame. And I had no idea what twin flame was at the time. I was not looking for a relationship. In fact, I remember having a dream right before I met my twin flame. Could have been a month or two before, but right around that time, right before I met him. And remember the dream, I was in like some type of school setting, but you kind of knew it was like a spiritual type of dream. And somebody was saying to me, like there were teachers or people higher up asking me if I found my partner yet. And it was almost like a lab partner for an experiment or school or learning. And I remember, and I'm like, no, I don't want to work with anyone. I want to do this by myself. And I remember looking around and I saw like a friend I knew. And I'm like, well, he's here. Can't I just work with him? And they're like, no, really, it's time for you to find your partner. And, you know, it's just one of those, I don't remember a lot of my dreams, but when I do, they're usually very significant. And so that was weird. And then I started channeling Archangel Michael, automatic write-in, and Merlin. And Merlin's energy is fun and intense. He kind of reminds me of like a Smurf. It's like, I don't know if there was a wizard Smurf or jokey Smurf. He has that energy. But Merlin, you know, focuses on magic and alchemy and manifestation. And right now, I know we talked in the last couple of podcasts about cutting cords and forgiveness. And this is going to be more of a fun one about manifesting. And what a lot of twin flames don't realize is that we have the ability to manifest as individuals and as a group. If we get together as a group of twin flames, whether it's on a webinar, a web call, you know, online, in person, we can do amazing things. Or he says, we will do amazing things. You know, he wants us to know that this stress and craziness that we've been going through, some of us for years, when it comes to the twin flame runner chaser dynamic and all that it's going to lead to something beautiful. Even if we don't come into union in the traditional sense that some of us expect, it's going to lead to something beautiful. And he says we're all going to make magic. And this is coming from him. This isn't me. I'm still not but I haven't fully bought into the whole twin flame thing. Yeah, I know. I'm doing a twin flame podcast and I'm channeling messages and stuff, but I still have some hesitation and I'm like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. But this is coming from Merlin. And so he wants to talk about manifesting. And he wants us to be very careful with our thoughts and our words, because we're all coming together right now as a collective. And, you know, he's talking about all the stuff that's going on online, on the support groups on YouTube and stuff. And a lot of people are very negative, and we have every right to be. This is challenging, frustrating, and there's people who, you know, haven't actually been in twin flame relationships. They've just been in abusive, crazy relationships, and they thought it was a twin flame relationship. So it makes sense that people are angry or upset. But he really wants us to look into ourselves and to start thinking more positively and to feel the magic. You know, assuming you've met your twin flame and you've, you know, been with them in the physical, even if you haven't been in the physical and you've talked to the person, he wants you to remember, feel it in your heart, feel it in your solar plexus, feel that magic, that magical moment you've had with your twin. and stop focusing all the negativity, the anger, the aggression, all that. Because, yeah, believe me, we all know it's there. But let's focus on manifesting. And when you're manifesting in relationship to your twin, think magic, think big, think different. I don't know if that's the Apple slogan, but think differently. These unions, if we come together in a physical union, it's not going to be the traditional relationship, the traditional marriage. The twin flame unions, the twin flame relationships are not your parents' or grandparents' relationships. And a lot of us coming into this twin flame journey, or whatever we want to call it, I think journey is a good word. A lot of us were in traditional type of relationships before we came into our twin flame journey. This relationship, when, and he wants me to use when, not if, when we come into our physical unions, don't have any expectations. I know as human beings we do, but it's not going to be your traditional type of relationship. It's not going to be the white picket houses, the kids, the cars, the minivan. Not that it can't be that for some people, but it's totally about other things. So think about the feeling you want with your twin flame. When you're manifesting, think about that exciting, magical feeling. And what do you want to do? What is it you want to do with your twin flame? And we're all here to change the world, to save the world in a sense. I know that's a lot of responsibility to hear, but when we all come together and start manifesting and connect on the higher levels, we are going to change the world. We're going to raise the vibration of the world. Even if you're in a crappy vibration right now, or if somebody tells you you're in a low vibration, you're not. You're in a higher vibration. You're going to raise your vibration and help the world. But start manifesting. And he wants you to, if you're not familiar with affirmations, connect yourself with a book about affirmations. Google affirmations. I'm sure there's plenty of videos about affirmations. But with affirmations, put it in the present tense and be positive. Affirm it like, I am happy. I communicate well with my twin. And if you can do it, gratitude works better when you're manifesting. I am so thankful for the great relationship I have with my twin. I am so thankful that my twin and I communicate well. Or even if it's not a relationship for your twin, I am grateful for all the abundance I have in my life. I am grateful for the friends and family I have in my life. I am grateful for my clean and clutter-free apartment. Whatever it is. And I know some people, when they're coming out of the 3D world where it's negative and crappy and all that, sometimes it's hard to switch into that gratitude mode. So if you're not quite there to manifest and be grateful, that's okay. But put it in the positive present tense. I am happy. I am at peace. I am in love. I am whatever it is. But the manifesting, and he's really kind of wants me to talk again about the power of the group, the power of the collective of the twin flames. That this is more about us just coming together because we're ripping our hair out because our twins are running from us or ignoring us or whatever it is. There's a reason we're all meant together. And there's a reason, that people have different ideas of what twin flames are. I know some people think their twin flames are evil, and or not necessarily evil, but people have different ideas of twin flames. And that's okay, because those different groups, segments of twin flames or non-twin flames or whatever you want to call it, they're coming together for a good reason, for a great reason. They're going to connect as a whole and change the world too. So, Merlin also wants some of you out there to connect with him and channel him and look him up, because he is just saying he is excited to be working with the twin flames, and he's like waving his magic wand at me. It's kind of funny. So, and he wants, again, like Archangel Michael did, like Archangel Metatron did, and he wants thank you for being on this journey. He's like, yeah, I know most of you agreed to it before you came back to Earth. Some of you more reluctantly to others. And I'm going to admit, I'm one of these old souls that did not want to come back. I reluctantly agreed. And I had a few past life regressions and a quantum healing session actually 3 years ago. Interesting. Just about 3 years ago. And that was one of the things I learned in my quantum healing session, that I'm a very old soul and I was content not to come back. They kind of took me out of retirement and came back. So we all agreed to this, some of us reluctantly, some of us, I think because most of us as twin flames are old souls. We are the wise ones. So that's another thing. A lot of us are from the wise one realm. And Doreen Virtue has some books and information about the different realms we belong to. But he wants you to practice. If you meditate daily, practice manifesting. But be very careful, because when you say, I don't want this, or I hate this, or I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm pissed off, you are going to get that. So we need to be very mindful and careful of the words and thoughts that we as twin flames use on a daily basis. So we need good self-talk, good thinking, good words. So catch yourself. Even if you're all upset, even if you had a crappy day, even if somebody did something to hurt you, catch yourself before you start putting the negativity out there, because we are coming together. We are ascending. A lot of us as twin flames have come together. Even if we have not come together physically, union with our individual twin flame or in the twin flame collective physically, a lot of us, our energies have already connected online, whether it's through YouTube videos, emails, this podcast. So this is a responsibility. Merlin's magical and fun, but he's also a very responsible, grounded person. And he wants you to not only, heal yourself and be magical, but to deal with reality. And I think he's the one that gave me the reality title for this podcast. So manifest and watch your words and thoughts. Even like words like, I need to do this, I should do this, they have a negative vibration. So be very careful. And, those of you who are in levels of leadership in the twin flame community, be very careful when you're on your videos. Don't talk down to people. Don't talk down to people in the comments. Don't talk down to people who disagree with you in a customer service email. You are putting out negativity. That is not okay. So Merlin, again, manifest positive affirmations. Watch the words and thoughts you use. And he wants to thank you for taking the time to listen and for listening to me ramble on. And remember, we are magical. We are going to change the world. It's time to manifest our own realities and what we want. So thanks again for listening to Twin Flame Reality. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes and subscribe on YouTube. And I believe I will be back again tomorrow with another Twin Flame video and podcast. Thanks again.